Mono White Aggro versus the ambitious Mendez. So today we play white. Alright, in face of that thing, I'm actually not gonna attack right now. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. Alrighty, they're not gonna attack with the tiny bones. Yep. Fair trade. And keep crewing with everything that doesn't have that. No, with everything that has summoning sickness. There's the Lumen-Class Frigate. Now, they have a slasher. And now the Frigate is actually targetable by removal, which is a downside of using it like that. They're keeping the slasher back. Now comes the virtue of loyalty. Alright, that's a whiff duress. They're keeping their slasher back. Should I attack? I think I need to. Sure. No. Let's grow everything more. Alright, they found an annex. The slasher is really kind of putting a stop on things. Seam rip won't work, but it can take out the bat. And give me back my Cosmogrand. I'm gonna start attacking now. Because that's going to take out the slasher for 2 turns, which is worth it. And the virtue of loyalty is really, yeah, just, you know. Okay, another slasher. Annoying, but fair. Fine. Okay. Let's go. Maybe I should, yeah, still attack with the Cosmogrand, right? Because they have to block anyway, and they're dead anyway, so of course I will attack with it. Okay, wow, that was pretty, that was a beatdown. Now, the opponent not having access to sweepers made all the difference here. Like, one sweeper would have probably, like, put a complete halt to my ambitions, but yeah, the opponent's spot removal was not enough to keep up with my ongoing onslaught. So I didn't have much in the kind of in the card draw here, and I think that might be one of the downsides of the deck. But let's play a few games before we come to any kind of verdict, and that's what the recap is there for. So for now, let's just keep beating down with mono white aggro. Mono white aggro versus the ambitious. It's like sin. All right, let's go. 2 Inquisitors. All right. Ooh, Servanda. And that. Okay. All right, another Servandum, which I'm gonna actually drop this first and attack with both of these because they will probably not block with this Servandum, and I want to take advantage of that. And then next turn, I hope that the Servandum will not grow beyond this. I don't think so though, because they usually the only way the Servandum grows real fast is with the Voice of Victory. Not with that though. So there goes Servandum, and there goes the Enduring Innocence. Full on beatdown. And triggered the case of the Getaway Express. Opponents at 5. Alright, well, we will continue the beatdown. And the opponent has already seen enough. Wow, that was... Yup, just play cheap creatures and turn them sideways. And don't care about other things. Only have the case and the seam rip to get rid of other pesky non-land permanents, mainly creatures. So yeah, wow, alright. Pretty straightforward. Let's keep beating down. Mono white aggro versus Collector Amlap. So mono white also has I think it has a couple of 1 mana 2/1s, which is also pretty good. Ooh, and Sheltered by Ghost as well. So it's kind of all in, like your opening hand is kind of all you, and the few cards that you draw in the first couple of turns is what you got to work with. The Lightstall again, and this thing also gives you great insights on what the opponent is playing. So, alright, consult the star charts. That looks like some kind of Azorius. Let's attack and drop this. They can't play cards on my turn, so they gotta do it now if they want to do anything. Alright. Alright, immediately crew it. Make this bigger. Attack for 3, pass that turn. No, actually I can crew it again. Oh, Vigilance works very well with the Lumen-Class Frigate. Frigate. Sorry. Attack first. Now, I'm like, all my hopes are now on these two guys, right? There's not much left. Oh, they're doing this now. Question is, do I activate this? I think I do. Like, I'm not even at 12 yet, right? So I can still kind of keep that option. Okay, well, if they're stocking up here, I think if I... this is going to deal 3, so there's no point... There's no difference if I crew first, or station first and then attack, or the other way around, because it's all this or this is going to deal 3. So unfortunately, I can't deal lethal yet. Unless... how can I... Wait, woohoo. I can play another one. I can crew it. But then I need to crew both, right? So no matter what I do, it's not going to be enough. I can cast this, and I can give this 4. Make this a 4/4. But I can't at the same time crew this one. So whatever I do, it's not worth it. I'm gonna attack here. And I'm actually just gonna do this. I'm not going to change them. Why? Because if I top deck a creature, if they sweep now and then I top deck a creature, this thing can attack immediately. That's why. That's what I need. That's what I need. Wait, but I should have crewed the second one as well. But, I mean, things are, yeah. But if they sweep, then they won't have spot removal left over anyway, so. Okay, they're stocking up again. I think this is game. Because I don't see any 2-mana or... yeah, I don't see any 2-mana card that can deal with all this. Alright, so... Azorius... well, Dimir... I think that was Dimir Mill, maybe? Or Dimir Control. Probably Dimir Mill. So, yeah. Just play him and turn him sideways. F for the win. On to the next game. Mono White Aggro versus the Virtuous Sawino. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is fine. Only one white, unfortunately. Do we already... No, I'm gonna do this first. Now, I need to seam rip whichever payoff card they have. But let's see what they play first. Like, do I go for the payoff card or do I go for the... kind of... Yeah, it's gonna be the... Like, when this creature attacks. Alright, very well. Unfortunately, I can only seam rip here. So I have to seam rip. I really need one more planes. So this is gonna be, this is a tough one, and it's okay. It's very dependent on if they have another payoff card. They do not. I'm actually gonna offer the trade here because I have more cards in backup here. Yeah, I didn't expect them to block. They're reliant on creatures more than I am, it seems. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, they're gonna take that, sure. Actually gonna block. Eh. Ah, well, I can't retarget that anyway. I could target their sheltered. I can do this to make their thing more expensive. Yeah, it does make a difference. Ooh, the Exemplar of Light. Alright, well, that's a good target for Sheltered by Ghosts, so let's do that. I have a seam rip as well. Alright, there's my white. Alright, what are we gonna do next? Can seam rip their hawk. I can seam rip their hawk. Let's do that. I know they're going to gain a lot of life here, but they're not getting any payoff here currently, right? So I'm not going to attack. So next turn I will forget and voice. Ooh. Yeah, I see. All right. No blocks. All right. Alright, so now this guy can attack. Start stationing this into as much as I can. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play this now. Oh, but it's tapped. Oh, damn. But let's do this. Ah, okay, I messed that up. Forgot about their authorities. But it's fine. I wanted to immediately crew, but you see. Wow, just going wide. Going wide and growing the creatures. That's what mono white does, right? Play cheap, good, efficient, small creatures and then make them bigger, and we have multiple ways to do that. We have the frigate, and we have the Virtue of Loyalty. So yeah, towards the end of this game, I admit I made that one or two mistakes. I'm just playing too fast. I need to slow down a little bit, but it didn't change the outcome. So my goal was to play this in my turn so that I can immediately tap this, accrue this or station this to make it a 3/5, but of course this enters tapped, so that wasn't an option. So I shouldn't have done that, but nonetheless, I'm still at 12, and this board is pretty overwhelming. So there you go. On to the next game. Mono White Aggro versus Collector Red Undead 40. Alright, yep, 3 lands, and the rest is a mix of creature, removal, and creature plus Anthem. Let's go with the Inquisitor first. What have we got? Oh, Getaway Glamour. Okay, this could be interesting. I'm gonna attack and flash in the Arden Vale fealty. Now, if they... Okay, there's a Charming Prince. Sure. Scry 2. Two on top. Here comes the Seam Rip. Now, do I overextend? I think I do. Like, this deck, the only thing it cannot do is just, like, play it slow. Yeah, we're gonna have to shelter that. Like, I need to get through. I need to get through. I don't have time to play around or mess around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is lethal. So let's just attack for lethal first. Yep. Ooh, that's ugly. That's actually super ugly. Yeah. I should have expected something in that sorts. But we are not dead yet, right? We're gonna play this guy. So now we have a little bit in the air. And even the fish is gonna do some damage. So... okay. That's being warped. Battle. No blocks. Ah, I see. They're both going to enter now untapped. So that's kind of a... pretty good. What does this do? No creature has greater power. So once this battle cry triggers, this will have greater... No creature will have greater power than the Sanguine Evangelist. It'll have 3 and it'll be on par with the Starfield Vocalist, which means that they can use this to kill it. So, okay, but good news is opponent is at 5. So I just need to get in there with all things, with everything. So this deck doesn't hold back, basically. So let's see. The opponent can remove 1 thing and block 2 things. So, okay, now they can't. Now they cannot. Ooh, so... alright, well, now I'm not sure. Ooh, that's good. That's perfect. That's perfect. Let's destroy... the Vocalist. Yeah, just attack with everything. I know something will die. But I need to get in there. Get him back down to 5. Now this is solved. Alright, so it's getting close now. It's getting really close. Ooh, now the prince is just... yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, ooh, that's even more awesome. So I think at this point, that is a combo that I can't really fight through. Non-land permanent. So they're just gonna... yeah, they're just gonna destroy me here. So unfortunately, they got me at this point. Like, even this... like, wow. They're just gonna bounce everything now with the Riptide Gearhawk. Yeah. Yeah, this is GG. I don't need to go on here. They got me locked down. So, yeah, unfortunately, in the final game, I was a 5 damage off. That one turn where they destroyed my, where they exiled my Inquisitor with the Parting Gust and got rid of the Sheltered by Ghosts that was attached to it, and then they got their steed back to block. That was the moment I lost. So, all right, fair enough. Still going 4-1 today, so pretty satisfied with mono white aggro. So, let's take a more detailed look at the deck in the recap. All right, so let's have a look at the deck. What do we have? We have 12 1 mana 2/1s 1-drops. So that's like number one. And each of these are super strong. Like this guy, the Veteran Survivor, will exile stuff from the opponent's graveyard. And once there are 3 more cards exiled, it's actually it's a 5/4 with hexproof. So that's strong in on itself. The Inquisitor has Vigilance, is a 2/1, and is just kind of slightly disruptive with its ability. And the Descendant, like a 1 mana 2/1, and you can just keep enduring and just making 1/1s, which in on itself also is pretty strong, depending on which deck you're up against. That can already be quite threatening. Then you have the Voice of Victory, which also creates the 1/1s and has the added ability of not allowing the opponent to play spells in your turn. So it's also very, slightly like kind of disruptive, but also kind of keeping the pressure on. And what do you have in the 3 mana kind of department? We have the Cosmogrand Zenith, which also either creates 1/1s or puts counters on everything. So it either grows your existing army or it increases your army. So that's just like kind of what you want to be doing. Only 2 here, which is sufficient because this deck doesn't really have any card advantage or card draw. So once you're down on cards, you just can't always ensure that you're gonna have be able to dual cast every single turn, right? So you might do this once or twice, and then it should be enough because this deck does want to win fast. Then you have the Evangelist, which is a kind of a anthem effect, kind of a type of anthem or pump effect. So this pumps the whole team when it attacks, trying to push for lethal damage, because at some point you're just going to want to push damage and just try to get through as best as you can, even if you sacrifice a few creatures on your side. The Toby Beastie Befriender is just a 3 mana 1/1, which makes a 4/4. And that beast can't attack or block alone, so it doesn't have to be Toby, but you'll definitely have some other creature around to attack together with your beast. So there you go. Just a good mana value, and spreading the board, making it wide but also big. Then you have a few interactive spells. So the Seam Rip, just also dealing with anything on the opponent's side that's early aggressive decks, or other Seam Rips or Sheltered by Ghost or whatever the opponent just has. You need a little bit of interaction to also disrupt the opponent and not just be at their fully at their mercy. 2 cases, which acts as a removal, but you don't want to have too much because you don't want to have be stuck with these in your hand. You do want to make a board first, and then you can use this as removal, and then when you attack with 3 or more creatures, it'll get solved, and then your creatures will also get +1/+0. So that's another anthem or pump effect. Sheltered by Ghosts is just Sheltered by Ghosts. It's amazing. Do have to be careful though. Once the opponent is able to pay for the ward cost, they can just remove it and get their thing back, like at a very unopportune moment, as we saw in the final game. So you have to be aware that once the opponent has reached 3 or 4 mana, they can actually deal with it pretty easily. And last but not least, we have the 2 Virtues, which act as an additional kind of creating a 2 mana 2/2, but also another anthem effect, which continuously grows your team, putting a counter on each creature you control at the end step. So this is kind of your top end finisher. The Lumen-Class Frigate is actually pretty cool because for 2 mana you play it, and then any turn you play a creature and it has Summoning Sickness, you can just use it to crew this. And all these 1-drops are 2/1s, so they can all immediately crew this or station this into the 2+ version, which gives all creatures +1/+1. So this is just basically a glorious Anthem type effect. But later down the line, you can also keep crewing it with all your Summoning Sickness creatures, and it'll become a 3/5 with lifelink and flying. So there is some use for it later on as well. So yeah, pretty straightforward aggro deck, but it worked pretty well today. So might be something worth giving a try. You have main deck graveyard interaction, which might be pretty useful. You're aggressive. You have Sheltered by Ghosts in case you're dealing with any red decks. And yeah. And last but not least, you have the Soulstone Sanctuary. Usually, well, no reason not to add it because you're just running basically mono white. You can just add them to have an extra creature down the line. Once if you do run out, or if you do get a little flooded by lands, or just want to use your excess mana in the mid to late game. So yep, that's the deck for you. 4-1 in today's run. It's pretty, yeah. The stats on Untapped are also pretty good, so I'm gonna post them in the description as well, so you can see the win rate. Yeah, so just yet another deck that is playable in the current state of standard best of 1 meta, which is pretty diverse, and there's quite a few options. But let's see. The Lightstall Inquisitor, born of dead stars, the Esteli may fight for light, but they know the void as their womb. And on that note, thanks for watching, have fun, see you in the arena, and peace.